And what else do we have? This will not end well. YouTube's latest purge of extremist content. I told you as we get closer and closer to the 2020 election and the big campaigning starts and all that, the deep state has got to shut every single human being up on the face of the earth who will not tell their official story and their fake news. You can't be exposing them, because then you're not going to vote for them when you hear their lies and all the crap that they spew at you. You won't have a way to fact check it. You won't have a way to listen. Hey, my buddy so-and-so on YouTube, that guy is really on top of stuff. Let me go listen to what he has to say. Oh, he doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, this account no longer exists for violating some new terms and conditions that we've changed 400 times, because we got to change them 400 times because we got to make sure we catch every single person that we don't want on our platform waking people up. We need to be able to do that. Authored by Kit Knightley via off-guardian.org. YouTube has just announced they have changed their community standards again to combat, well, extremist content on their platform. This is just the latest step in the war against free speech online. You want to know something? Remember I was complaining? I filed an appeal for a video that they gave me a strike on. Community guideline strike. Linking to, drugs and something. No. It's CBD oil. It's completely legal. You guys already gave me a strike a month ago when this happened. I appealed it and explained this is not an illegal drug. You could buy it. It's retail. Oh yeah, sorry about that. You're right. Strike removed. I get another strike a month and a half later for the same thing on a different video. Whoa, guys. You just did this to me. You just found that I was normal. I was fine. That this is okay. I got that first response within 3 days or so. Week later, no response. Second time. 2 weeks later, no response. 3 weeks later, no response. Fourth week. A month later, I just got a response. We agree with our decision. Your video is going to be removed, is staying removed, and your strike will stay. But I got them. I got them. When I went back 18 days later approximately to look at the status of the appeal, because I'm like, it usually takes 3 days usually. Here it is 18 days later. I noticed they changed the reason that they gave me a strike. Harmful and dangerous or not dangerous content now all of a sudden. Me talking about something is harmful or dangerous content. And that something was that church fire. The steeples falling over. Remember that? And it was tied to the deep state video known as I Pet Goat 2. They didn't want people making that connection. And Snip had to show you the connection, J Snip. And they didn't like that. So they tried to find reasons to shut my video off. And then later on, after I appealed it, they changed the reason mid-game. We stand by our decision. But I've got the proof. Evidentiary proof that will be used in a court of law when the time is right. And that's not the first time they've done this to me. So having said that, let's continue on. This move comes as no surprise. The press have been laying the groundwork for this for weeks and even months. 3 weeks ago, BuzzFeed reported that YouTube's monetized chat was pushing creators to more extreme content. And just yesterday, it was reported that YouTube's recommended algorithm was sexualizing children, which was true. And I covered that as well. These little pedo channels that come up, little girls doing gymnastics and back bends. And whoever the cameraman is focusing in places they shouldn't be focusing on. And if you watch one of those videos, all of a sudden YouTube's algorithm, oh, you may like this one next. You could just turn on autoplay and it will feed you some other related video of some other channel that just so happens to be videotaping young children, girls, doing these interesting back bends and maneuvers and just stuff that an adult looks at and goes, yeah, is that their parents filming that? No way. Who would do that? So, anyways, Google's algorithm has no problem with that, but you little bastard, J Snip, we don't want you showing people some of the stuff you show them. You're waking too many people up. And that's why we've had to throttle back your subscriptions. We're not recommending any of your videos anymore. You're staying at 85,000K subscribers. You're not going to gain any more. Matter of fact, you're going to start going negative because that's already been happening. You cannot move for stories about how bad YouTube is, and they put links up. Given that, it comes as no surprise that the mainstream media are celebrating this latest purge. The Guardian reported YouTube bans videos promoting Nazi ideology, while the Financial Times went with YouTube to ban supremacist videos. See, they'll use big words like that. Oh yeah, well, Nazi, white supremacist. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm just covering news stories about our corrupt government and cryptocurrencies and psychics and woo-woo weird stuff sometimes. That's not supremacist. That's not Nazi. Nope. But if you can get caught in that little bag, that little label, and not even know it, they can remove your channel. But when the news comes out and says, oh no, this is just white supremacists that like really bad stuff, we don't want it. Okay, all right. The average person's not going to be like, hey, YouTube, what are you doing? No. Yeah, okay, that's okay. And then they just start picking people like me and others right off the channel, off the network, gone. And those guys aren't white supremacists. They never talked about Nazi stuff. What the hell is this? They did it under the guise of that. Vox was a little more truthful in its headline, reporting YouTube finally banned content from neo-Nazis, Holocaust deniers, and Sandy Hook skeptics. The Independent, likewise, YouTube to delete thousands of accounts after it banned supremacists, conspiracy theorists, and other harmful users. However, even these headlines, though a touch closer to the whole truth, leave out some really important information. I'm sure entirely, by accident. As much as the media are playing the neo-Nazi hate speech angle, there's far more to it than that. To really dig down into what this means, we need to ignore the media and go straight to the source. This is YouTube's official statement on the matter, posted on their blog. The bans, contrary to the media headlines, are not about racism. They are far more incoherent than that. They are about supremacist content. YouTube's delightfully vague description of which is as follows. Videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. God, did they miss anybody? You could make up anything. Joe, that last video you did about this guy, George Nader, the child pedophile guy. Yeah, listen. You're talking about he was doing things to 10-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 6-years-old. Yeah. Well, that's what the news I was reading you said. I was just being a news reporter, JSnip4 of Realist News. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, why? Well, we're going to ban that video because you discriminated against somebody. Well, who? Well, the children, based on their age. Religion, because that guy George Nader did identify, remember that article, did say he identifies as Christian. For some reason, Wikipedia needed to keep that in the article. And that's the reason why your video doesn't comply. Well, it seems like any time you talk about a human being or any living creature, you guys might be able to find some way of twisting what somebody said into, hate speech, hate crime, bullying and harassment, dangerous or extremist content. Honestly, almost any video you wanted that expresses a political position could be twisted into fitting that description. But it doesn't end there. Finally, we will remove content denying that well-documented violent events like the Holocaust or the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary took place. So if you do some of your own investigative journalism, and you come to the conclusion by yourself whether you're a wackadoodle or not. That something, whether it was one tiny thing, one huge thing, several things, a bunch of things that you saw on the news that told you about some shooting that doesn't add up in your mind. Again, you're a wackadoodle, you're not, whatever you are. And you just say any words to the effect that I personally don't think what I saw, gone. Video removed, community guideline strike given. You are not allowed to question anything for any reason. It doesn't matter how absurd it is, because some of the stuff could be quite absurd. But anybody should be able to talk about something that's absurd to them. Or not absurd to them, but absurd to you. And you could promptly go on and say, listen, bro, you've got to check your head. In the comment section, you need to check your head. This event was real. We all believe in it. What's wrong with you? Now, when we look at history from communist type of regimes, speaking of Nazis and Hitler, they would remove history. And if you question things, they would remove you from the equation. Only the official narratives were ever allowed. That's not democracy. That's not freedom of speech. That's silencing somebody. Who cares what they think? Who cares what they thought they did or didn't see, or how it makes them feel, or whether they believe what they saw or not? That's for them to decide. And as a matter of fact, it's for their viewers to decide also, watching whatever the person's talking about or showing. Because what if that person's showing you something that the mainstream media didn't show you? Video footage on scene that completely contradicts something that the mainstream media says, no, this is what happened. And you have video evidence saying, guys, you got to take a look at this. Something's wrong here. All of a sudden, oh, you're questioning the official story. Your video's gone. See how that works? That is what this is about. We've got to silence these people. Nobody's listening to the news anymore. CNN's about to go file for bankruptcy in the near future. MSNBC will be followed shortly behind that. We've got to get a grasp on this. We can't have these citizen journalists out here doing stuff, undermining our New World Order important work, you know. We can't have that. Shut them down. But QAnon did say, don't worry, a platform will be coming where free speech will be allowed, like a video platform. And I thought to myself, when we find out when we find out whatever that is, we must, or as my friend Pete would say, we must tell the White House or whoever's putting this out, you don't have to put up servers and not use this new system called Theta. It's a cryptocurrency that does online streaming content peer-to-peer style. If the internet went out in some part of the world, doesn't matter. The rest of the world has the content. Like a nice mesh node. So Mr. President and White House, we encourage you strongly to use the Theta network for this new content delivery platform you want to put out that people can use for free speech and not have to worry about being silenced by the likes of YouTube and these criminals at Google and their parent company, Alphabet. What does well-documented mean, right? Finally, we will remove content denying that well-documented violent events like the Holocaust or the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary took place. So you can't say it didn't take place. If you say the shooting at Sandy Hook was not real, it didn't take place, it was fake, it was actors, it was a hoax, or whatever you say, if you say that, what they're saying is that's grounds to have your video removed because it's well-documented that it was real. Again, so this person says, well, what does well-documented mean? And by whom? Who gets to determine if it's well-documented? The cited examples, the Holocaust and Sandy Hook, are chosen for shock value. But again, they're only examples because they did use the word like, like the Holocaust or like Sandy Hook. Like can mean like a lot of stuff. Like Jason at 4 exposing some Democrats. Like Mark Dice exposing some mainstream media corruption. Like, oh, we didn't think that was included. You didn't say that. Yeah, but that's what like means. Like anything we want it to be like. What other examples might there be? The Doma gas attack from last year, the poisoning of Sergei Skripal. You can't deny people the right to ask simple questions such as, did that really happen? Or, is the government telling the truth? These are the basic questions of journalism. You can't simply pass history off as well documented and put it beyond question. Everything's questionable. And sometimes we have to go back and change history because, wow, we found out some interesting information that proves what we thought we knew was wrong. People can't fly in airplanes. You can't do that. Oh, we made great airplanes. People can fly now. The moon, it's a star. Oh, no, it's a moon. We figured that out. Oh, gotta change history. Some science, math, certain physics. Well, you can't do that. Oh, actually, you can do that. And under YouTube's guidelines, no. Once we think we kind of agree, that's the end of it. Kind of reminds me of the Catholic Church, the religious empire of the world back in the day. You couldn't say the earth was round, actually. Once upon a time, they were telling you the earth was flat. Then we flip-flop now. No, the earth's round, and then people think it's flat. For whatever reason. But again, let them question it. They want to question it? Go ahead and question it. But the Catholic Church would hang you if you said something that they said, and you said, oh, that's not true. Here's why. Oh, off with your head. So Google, YouTube is doing that. Oh, we don't want anyone questioning. We don't want you, Mr. or Mrs. so-and-so on our platform, questioning our official statements. And when I say our, the Deep State Club. George Carlin. It's a big effing club, and you ain't in it. You got that right. And it's going to be torn apart by the Trump administration. In an increasing fake world where government actions are routinely narrative-based rather than reality-based, which we saw for the last 2 years, Trump collusion, obstruction, Rachel Maddow foaming at the mouth, Anderson Cooper, all of them, CNN, he's done this. We've got so-and-so congressman, Peter Schiff, or not Peter, Adam Schiff, and this guy, I'm in the intelligence committee. I hold that title. And I'm telling you that I've seen things. This president is guilty of collusion and obstruction of justice. Oh my God. What is it? Well, I can't say, it's top secret right now. But that's your position, so you've seen documents. Yes, I have. Oh my God, we got to this. That would be, in YouTube's world, that would be the official, this statement is true. Don't anyone come out and say this guy's lying. Because he's the politician, not you. He has classified information, not you. And he's a prestigious, genuine, loving politician. And then we find out he lied. No collusion. No dossier nonsense. No obstruction. And not only that, Mr. Schiff, he's now declassifying the documents you said you've seen, which are actually devastating to the deep state and shows that Trump was actually right. So do we get to go back, hey, YouTube, you banned my video because I said that he lied because he was the authority figure. I was actually right. Can you undo that now? Yeah, I bet YouTube will be right there. Oh, sorry about that. Well, we'll go ahead and restore your video right away. Again, note the use of extreme examples, flat earth and miracle cures. It's manipulation. What they're talking about is well-documented science. They mean the big three: climate change, genetically modified crops, and vaccinations. Questioning any of those will become harmful in the near future on YouTube. People will say, obviously, people shouldn't be allowed to question vaccination, but they're wrong. People should, people must be allowed to question everything. That's what free speech means. Imagine this was 70 years ago. Corporate consensus then was what smoking was good, back then. Perfect example. The corporate consensus back then was that smoking was good for you. You can find videos right now, even on YouTube, by the way. The black and white guy, my doctor, I can smoke 2 cigarettes a day. My doctor even smokes. They got the guy in the doctor outfit, wearing the doctor clothes, smoking a cigarette, promoting a cigarette brand. I've seen it before. You probably may have run across it yourself. That would have been official news. Don't question it. You guys come out here and say otherwise, that smoking's harmful for you. We're banning you and your whole channel. We'll demonetize your video. You keep it up. We'll start striking you. You keep that up, you're gone. And it turns out, all these years later, smoking is devastating for your health. But it doesn't fit the narrative at the time, so you must comply with the deep state or they'll take you out. And no citizen is too big or too small. If you don't go with the flow, they'll get you. Do I want to go out for breakfast? Yes, I do. So there's a bit more to this article, but just at the end they give you an idea of some of the people. Here's an initial list, courtesy of Infel Pro, whatever, of those affected by YouTube's purge so far. Cultured Thug, Zurius, UKipper, The Great Order, Varg, Mr. Alsop History, Patrick Slattery, and those demonetized, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and one of those is a big one, Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder. They nailed him and demonetized all of his videos recently. And video channels deleted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Again, this is a small list. And I think one day, you may not see me on here. For some stupid little, oh, he just said, that damn JSnip4. We've been following, he got over 4,000 videos. We've been sending like SWAT teams of YouTube employees into the back room to binge watch his videos to find one. We found one. We found a video out of 4,000 something videos. We got one. He used the word, I don't know, gay man. Oh my God. Oh. But what was the context? It doesn't matter the context. He just used the word gay and man together in the same part. But wasn't he talking about being happy? Like the word gay used to mean being happy? Yes, but we don't know that. We don't know that. He used the word gay, and we are looking for a reason to destroy him, so we found it. Thank you all 500 of you employees that we've paid all this money to find one word that this individual said so we can remove him off our platform. They actually have teams, and as you saw their response, maybe from Steven Crowder, they had a team of people. They said it. YouTube said it. We had a team of people looking into a bunch of Steven Crowder's videos to see if we could find anything. He did not violate any of our terms and conditions, but we demonetized him anyways. What? Unbelievable. This is only the beginning. I keep saying this. As we get closer to the election, if the federal government doesn't come down with a heavy hand on the social media platforms, monopolies, antitrust, whatever, they've got 6 ways. As a Shift for Brains once, I went at him, you mess with the deep state and they've got 6 ways from Sunday from getting back at you, Mr. President. Yeah, well, listen, deep state, when you F with Trump, he has 6 ways from Sunday, including your social media platforms, to get back at you and not make it up like you guys would have to do and bring false charges like you guys have tried to do. He'll do it the real way, the legal way. You guys have committed crimes and he's going to go after you. And I do look forward for the day when the new platform of the internet comes out for people to post videos without effing censorship by these criminals.